probably the simplest audio recording tool that I know of. Because it's so simple, it also has some shortcomings, but it can be a great resource for making audio recordings of tests, quizzes, or anything that you want to provide audio support for in your classroom. So to get started with Vocaroo, you just go to vocaroo.com and you'll see this red click to record button. The first time you click on it, you will have to enable the flash settings, so click on Allow. The recording will start at that point and begin picking up the sound of your voice. If I was reading a test, I would start with question number 1, read that question aloud, then move on to question number 2. If I was reading an article out loud or a passage from a book, I would just start and record that, and when I'm finished, I'd click to stop. You can click listen and review whatever you've just recorded, or if you're happy with what you have, you come down here to save it. So I'm going to click on this button to save, and then you're presented with several different ways of saving. The first one that I'm going to recommend to you is to download the audio recording as an MP3 file. This will save it permanently to your computer. One of the things that Vocaroo will not promise to do is save your recording forever. So if this recording is something you're going to use again and again over the next few years and you're worried about losing it, make sure that you do this next step. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on top of this MP3 icon and click Save Link As, and then I'm going to save this to some place on my computer, probably a folder called Audio Recordings. In the future, I can upload that audio recording to anywhere that I want to save it online, including Google Drive, Moodle, Edmodo. So I can use the storage features of those 3 services as a more permanent way of keeping the audio online. But if I'm just going to use this recording temporarily, or if I'm not too worried about the long-term factors of it, I can grab this link to that audio and I can put that onto a website and it can take students to it. I can get the embed code for that audio. An embed code basically lets you put a little bit of code into a website or a Moodle page and then puts the player right there so that you don't have to go to another site. And then one thing that we've done on tests and quizzes that are already on paper is grab the QR code and printed off that QR code and then placed it on top of a worksheet or any kind of reading, and then students can get to that audio. Another nice thing about the QR codes is that they're difficult to copy or save, so if you're using this for a testing environment and you want to keep the audio recording secure, a QR code is a good way of being able to do that. So I would just right click onto this, I could click print, or I could copy the image and put it into a Word document and resize it and do some other things with it. So that's one nice thing about Vocaroo, is that it has all these different options. The first one being to save it to your computer, which I always recommend you do. The next one being to share the link or embed it in a website, and then the final option being to use a QR code. So that's how you use Vocaroo to make audio recordings in your classroom.